Hey everyone, welcome back to Anyone Can Train. Today I wanted to come at you with let's go 10 things. We'll keep these lists nice and even. 10 harsh truths about fitness that I think people really need to get through their thick skulls, and myself included. So I forget these rules sometimes too. Number one is that there are no quick fixes here. Real results take time and they take effort. Things like fad diets, the newest like exercise trend, on Instagram, whatever crazy weird movement you're seeing that's like capturing your feed right now. Um, that's really not gonna be the thing that drives progress. Miracle supplements, stuff like that. That's not gonna be the thing that really gets you where you need to be going. Those sort of quick fixes, the magic pills, the magic bullets, those don't deliver lasting results. Those sell the idea that you can make progress quickly and fast, and that's not what real progress is. Real progress takes time, it takes effort, and it takes sacrifice. There's no quick fixes, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Number two, uh, consistency is key. I think a lot of people really overestimate what they can do in the short term and underestimate what they can do in the long term. And what I mean by that is if you just keep stacking those small wins day in, day out, getting in, hitting your macros, doing what you got to do over a long period of time, you'll be shocked at what you can accomplish over, 1, 2, 3, 6 years of training. Now, if you're just, again, looking for those quick fixes that we just talked about, you're going to find yourself, scratching your head like, oh man, like I made, I put so much weight on my squat so quickly, but I got hurt. I blew my tires out. And I put that weight on so fast, or I took it off so fast, but I'm so burnt out, and then I relapsed onto my old diet. You don't need to go super duper hard all the time if it's gonna have you burn out. I'd much rather you have a lower compliance rate to everything you're doing, and you stay consistent with it instead of being like an all or nothing kind of person. Um, Number three, and this is another one that a lot of the dude bros I really want to speak to you here, is that your diet matters, right? You can't. We're not 18. We're not 21. It's difficult to outtrain your bad diet. You can't be slamming 15, 30 beers in the weekends. Eating nothing but pizza and chips. Still make any kind of progress. You're gonna hit a wall, and that wall is gonna hurt. So you really need to hone in on what you're eating. And now, do you need to cut everything out of your diet and be hyper restricted? No. Should you be eating the vast majority of your diet consisting of whole foods? Yeah. Should you be refraining from addictive substances such as like alcohol and drugs? Probably. I think those are good places to start. Um, but again, really paying attention to what you need to, man. Making sure you get enough protein, making sure you're not overindulging a wild caloric surplus constantly, and just making sure most of your energy comes from whole foods. I think is crucial, especially as we get a little older. We're not the kids we used to be, so it's important that we eat right and we treat ourselves properly. Um, the next one is where a lot of people sort of get stuck as they get further down the road, and maybe even some new trainees, and they're not familiar with this feeling. And this is that discomfort it's part of the process. You're gonna have to get used to being uncomfortable. For some people, it's like their first time getting into like say a low bar squat position. That's not a comfy feeling. Your shoulders being back that tight, or like arching on a bench press, or tightening up before you pull the bar off the floor in a deadlift. Those aren't comfortable positions to be in. Same goes for hypertrophy. If you're trying to put on a lot of muscle, a lot of those sweet, juicy gains are found in the areas, or they're found in the reps that you're not doing when shit gets hard, for lack of a better term. So when things get difficult, that's where you should buckle up, Buttercup, and really start to work hard. Obviously, I don't want you taking squats, to RPE 10 consistently. Not an intelligent way to train. Bicep curls? Yeah, why not? You can take those to failure every now and then. I know people that do it consistently, much bigger than you and I. It's not like strength training where you kind of want to just stay within a certain RPE range, if you're training for hypertrophy on those small isolation exercises like bicep curls, lateral raises, you can train to failure and beyond. So you could, after you get to failure, you can start doing partial reps. You'll recover as long as you're eating and sleeping well. Don't worry about that. That's part of the process too of getting very strong, or very jacked rather, is pushing through some of those uncomfortable reps. The next is that not everyone is gonna look the same. You're not gonna look like your ideal, fitness influencer. You might look better, but you're not gonna look the same. You could run their program, their templates, whatever you want to do, and you probably will not look the same as them. Results vary. Okay. That's just something I really want people to sort of get through their head too, is that you can have like this ideal like body shape in your head, or like this physique in your head. It's like, oh, I want to look like so and so. It's like, man, I really wish I looked like so and so. It's probably best to taper those expectations and want to be the best version of yourself. You shouldn't be in fitness to be somebody else. You should be here to be the best version of yourself. Number 6 is that you should be resting to some extent. You don't need to rest 5 days a week, only train 2. But you do need to rest. Rest in the literal sense that you're not working all the time and you're not working out 7 days a week. Do some people train on 7 days a week and have success with it? Yeah. But they take rest when they need to. They may run a 7-day split, but they take their rest days when they have to. But if you're not resting, things are going to catch up to you eventually. If you're out there, you're working 2 jobs, and you're trying to train 6 days a week, something's going to give. I promise you that. Something will give. It gave with me. Trying to work so much. But that's just going to happen. It's a fact of life. So taper your frequency in accordance with like your sort of life stressors. And if you do want to train 6-7 days a week, make sure you're not, burning the candle at both ends here. You should be eating well, sleeping well, resting well, that sort of thing. Number 7, another big one here, is that motivation. Motivation fluctuates. Don't rely on it. Please don't rely on your favorite song every day in the gym, because sooner or later you're going to start to hate that song. Don't rely on, a motivational video or anything like that. Build habits. Motivation's fleeting. It's going to leave you as fast as it comes. Do your best to stay disciplined, build your habits, and know where you're going. Make this part of your day, make it a routine, so that, when that, hype feeling goes away, like, oh, I really want to train, yeah, like when that goes away, you still get the thing done. You still do the damn thing. So I would focus on building habits over motivation, 10 out of 10, 7 days a week. Number 8, and take this one with a grain of salt because it's advice, but not all advice is good advice. You're not going to be able to, how do I say this, sort of adequately rely on everyone in the fitness industry. It's a big industry. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that don't have your best interest at heart. So pick and choose your sources carefully. And not everyone is going to have sort of your same goals in mind. You shouldn't be listening to someone who's, just pumping out cookie cutter programs, just dropping supplement sponsorships left and right, doesn't look natural and is claiming natural. You got to be careful who you're listening to. And even some of the people who aren't natural and admit it, maybe not the best role models. Maybe don't run their programs too if you're not, sort of getting the same enhancements they are. But yeah, I would just be careful with who you listen to, where you get your information from, because there's a lot of people that don't have your best interest at heart in the industry. Number 9, and this is something that I think a lot of people need to understand now too, with the rise in like bulletproofing our bodies, is that injuries are going to happen. No amount of bulletproofing this or bulletproofing that, or no amount of flexibility you do or mobility training you do is going to guarantee that you never get hurt. It's going to happen. You're going to get injured at some point. It might not even be from the weight room. You might get hurt out and about, playing in a rec, like a men's league softball game or something like that, playing in like a, a kickball game. It could be anything. It could be you get a back tweak bending over to pick up a piece of paper. Is that a legitimate injury? Well, that's a topic for another video. But you're gonna get hurt. You're not always gonna be 100% pain free. You're gonna experience pain to some extent. It's how you manage that pain and how well prepared you are that determines, how long you're sort of out of commission. Are you, out of commission, so away from your training for a couple days, or is this taking you months to get back into the gym? That's one thing I want us to consider. And number 10 is that fitness is a lifestyle change. You can't really make notable progress without some sort of sacrifice. It has to happen. If you've got lofty goals in your head, a big squat, you want to get really lean, you want to get shredded, you want to get strong, you want to be like a hybrid athlete where you can run a lot and you can lift a lot, you're going to have to make some sacrifices in your life. That's just something you have to be aware of. Do you have to, again, cut back and be super restrictive? No. But you're going to have to make some sort of sacrifice to put fitness as a priority in your life. And the higher up the priority list it is, the more progress you can expect to make. But if, you got all these things ahead of your goals, like your fitness goals, and, fitness is down here and boom, 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 it's all in the way, you may have to tape your expectations a little bit with that one. But yeah, that's those are 10 like harsh truths I kind of want people to 10, there you go. I kind of wanted people to sort of get through their heads. We got the dogs in the background on the bed, and I hope you enjoyed this little video. Thank you very much.